Good morning. Welcome to the hospital on board RFA Argus. This is the emergency department where the patients would come, receive the primary and secondary survey and essentially be assessed on their injuries, and then we make the clinical decision on what we do next. If required, we will take them through the CT scanner. The only CT scanner we know to be on board ships in the UK. So we're going through the operating theatre. I promise it's not a patient under there. Any trauma that the casualty comes in with, we can manage here. In here at the moment, you have a team of 2 anaesthetists, 2 surgeons, 1 a general surgeon and 1 a trauma orthopaedic surgeon, and then 3 operating theatre practitioners, and they effectively provide a 24-hour coverage to the facility. From here, we're going back through to intensive care, and in here, this is where we would look after the critically ill patient, provide stabilisation before we then go to evacuate the casualty to the Royal 4 Hospital in Birmingham, where we'd also use the RAF to critically evacuate the casualties. So take you onto the next deck. This is our blood fridges. We currently carry up to 40 units of blood, but as you can see there are lots of fridges, lots of freezers, so we can certainly carry a lot more if there is a requirement to do so. One of the planning criteria for us is obviously blood expires. It only has a shelf life of 30 days, so we've got to build that into our planning metrics in order to make sure we can resupply blood. Generally most people start work at 8, but at the same time there's a lot of people who are working shifts or working watches. So the ship is staffed 24 hours of the day, and it depends what's happening at the time. It depends on how busy the ship is, but generally speaking, the busiest part of the day, about 8 o'clock till 1800 every day. Another really busy department on board, the galley, and this is where the chefs produce and make all the food. So 1 galley, and this services the whole of the ship across 3 different dining halls. Well, as you can see, I like all meals, but generally Saturday is steak night. So steak, scampi or chicken Kiev. Sometimes all 3 if you're good to the chef. A bit of a walk now, and we'll go right to the bridge, which is quite a few steps. Always good for my exercise. Welcome to the boardroom. This is where all the officers spend their relaxation time. Quickly take you outside. See the morning sun. As you can see there, flight deck starting to get busy. So lots of flying today. 2 Wildcats on the back, plus the Merlin. And that's all for a very busy flying window today. Permission to come on the bridge? Yeah. Captain will sit in his chair, and the bridge watchkeepers will carefully look after the ship through the course of the day and make sure we're all safe and make sure we get to the destination that we need to be. Any emergencies, anything that the ship needs to respond to, this is where all the decisions will be made. And always good to finish off on another good view. There we are, sunrise. Nice and warm. This is what being at sea is all about.